What is the Real Estate Recovery Fund? The last resort for recovery of losses in an attempt to make a claimant whole, caused by the conduct of a licensed salesperson, broker in a real estate transaction. See Arizona Revised Statutes, ARS, paragraph 32, 2-186, through paragraph 32, 2193.02. Administered under the direction of the Arizona Real Estate Commissioner. The Recovery Fund is funded from a surcharge on license fees. Tax dollars are not used. How does one become eligible to apply to the Recovery Fund? Eligibility applies when a court judgment, civil or criminal, or an arbitration award has been obtained against the salesperson and broker, not just the brokerage company, involving a real estate or cemetery plot transaction, bought, sold, leased property, or a property management company hired to manage property, and the conduct of the salesperson and broker were in violation of the law under Title 32, Chapter 20, ARS or ADRI rules. The collection of a judgment or the award, documented attempts required, has been unsuccessful. What can the Recovery Fund pay for? Actual money lost in a real estate or cemetery plot transaction as caused by the actions of a salesperson, broker, as stipulated in the judgment. Reasonable attorney fees and other costs as stipulated in the judgment. Examples of eligible losses. Misappropriated earnest money deposit or the down payment on a house. Misappropriated security deposit, rental income, or money withheld that was intended for mortgage payments or other expenses managed by the licensee. Repair costs required for defects when a real estate licensee materially misrepresented the condition of the property. Loss caused by a transaction when the real estate licensee has actively misrepresented the financial condition of the property and parties involved. Examples of ineligible losses. Speculation, including lost profits or unrealized losses. Transactions for property outside of Arizona. Loans, notes, limited partnerships, or other securities, regardless of whether the loss was caused by an investment in or was secured by real property. Repair costs for defects that the purchaser was aware of or made aware of a tenant's conduct or neglect. Vandalism. Natural causes. Punitive damages. Post-judgment interest. Undocumented transactions or losses. How does one apply for payment from the Recovery Fund? Obtain and record, and provide the department an original certified recorded copy, a judgment obtained against all parties involved in the transaction, including but not limited to the licensed salesperson and his/her employing broker, not a corporation, partnership, or fictitious entity. Exhaust all efforts to collect the money pursuant to ARS Paragraph 32 to 188F8 from all involved parties, document the efforts, and provide them to the department download and complete the Recovery Fund application, Form RF-107, from www.asri.gov. Notify the licensee of the filing of a claim against them with the Recovery Fund, Form RF-109. Proof of service to the licensee is required in one of the following forms. Personal service, Form RF-110. Certified mail, Form RF-111. Publication, Form RF-112. Provide all requested documentation and/or any additional documentation to support the application. Hand deliver or mail, via certified mail, the application to the department. The license and the Recovery Fund. Once there has been authorization to pay funds from the Recovery Fund for a licensee's actions, that person's real estate license, whether broker or salesperson license, is automatically terminated. According to RS 32 to 2131, if the Commissioner approves, the real estate license of an agent can be returned upon licensee paying back funds, in addition to interest paid out from the Recovery Fund. The Commissioner must see evidence that the judgment has been paid in full. Arizona Laws 32-2186. Real Estate Recovery Fund, Liability Limits, Definition. The Commissioner shall establish and maintain a real estate recovery fund for the benefit of any person aggrieved by any act, representation, transaction or conduct of a licensed real estate or cemetery broker or real estate or cemetery salesperson that violates this chapter or the rules adopted pursuant to this chapter. The fund shall only pay for a loss that is an actual and direct out-of-pocket loss to the aggrieved person directly arising out of the real estate or cemetery transaction, including reasonable attorney fees and court costs, in which the licensee either 1. Performed acts that required a real estate or cemetery license pursuant to this chapter. 2. Engaged in fraud or misrepresentation while acting as a principal in the purchase or sale of real property, and the aggrieved person relied on the broker's or salesperson's licensed status. B. The fund's liability shall not exceed 1. $30,000 for each transaction, regardless of the number of persons aggrieved or the number of licensees or parcels of real estate involved. 2. $90,000 for each licensee. Arizona Laws 32-2187. Payments to Real Estate Recovery Fund A. In addition to any other fees, payments shall be made to the Real Estate Recovery Fund on application by any person, as follows. 1. For an original real estate or cemetery broker's license, $20. 2. For an original real estate or cemetery salesperson's license, $10. B. If on June 30th of any year, the balance remaining in the Real Estate Recovery Fund is less than $600,000, every broker, when renewing a real estate or cemetery license during the following license year, shall pay, in addition to the license renewal fee, a fee of $20 for deposit in the Real Estate Recovery Fund, and every salesperson, when renewing a real estate or cemetery license during such year, shall pay, in addition to the license renewal fee, a fee of $10 for deposit in the Real Estate Recovery Fund.